Alright guys, I got an interesting challenge for y'all to see today. So everyone already knows how valuable Belgium was to the greater war effort, but despite that, with the new Belgium tree in Götterdämmerung, they have potential to do a lot more. This challenge is pretty straightforward. A historical game with a historical focus path to face off and hopefully defeat the Germans. But of course, not using the historical military strategy because, well, we all know how that went. Also, if you don't have the DLC yet and still want to buy it or any other Paradox content, do it through my link in the description because I get a 12% cut of your purchase, so it really helps me out and you still pay the same price to get the game on Steam. Just looking at these starting spirits, I didn't know Belgium was really going through it at this time. Who knew such a small country contained so much bad stuff? You good, bro? You can really tell it's affected the way people think because I'm looking at these starting divisions and we need to get these Belgian generals out of the kitchen because they cannot cook. Since they added Congo as a subject to Belgium, I can use them as a manpower bank to make up for the lack of manpower I know I'll be facing later. The elections are looking a bit weird with me having to decide whether I want fascists in our coalition. I really didn't want to take the stability hit right now, so I'd take the fascism hit, but I'm shocked to see how much they expanded in less than a year. Are we sure these polls are accurate?
Okay, so I've noticed something. This survey was conducted at a Klan rally.
But this is definitely my wake-up call to start addressing the fascism in the country. Even though I'm a small country, I'm trying to think big, and that's why I'm building a land warfare facility. I want the Stronghold Facility project to turn this land into a major fortress, because that's all I got going for me. This land isn't defensible at all. One minor river and city, it's pretty bleak. Once it finally finishes, I met with the horrible realization that the Stronghold project costs 2 breakthrough points and I'm a quarter of the way to my first one in September 1937. So yeah, I just wasted like 2 mils worth of IC for something I won't even have for the war. I don't need it anyways. Forts don't win wars, men do. I'm fixing up the Belgian divisions to be actually decent. They need to be high quality to be able to sustain combat under constant ground and air attacks. The Belgian units will pretty much be following the same template, while the Congolese will be using a smaller one as they are meant to fill in the gaps for battles and hold less important areas. As I enter 1939, it's all about fort building, no more industry. When the Germans come for me, it's not going to be fun for them. When Germany declares on Poland, I'm feeling the pressure mount up on me. I have 10 more divisions in queue to prepare for the invasion, but I can't help but be scared of getting instantly rolled. Like we're not even a month into the war and the French already lost Metz on the Maginot Line. Like they're actually trying to lose. What's the plan here? In 1940, Germany starts its conquest of Scandinavia, which means I'm next. I'm feeling better about the army I have deployed, and I still have more good divisions in training. I don't think I could have done much better building up. I squeezed as much as I could out of my tiny industry. The Germans finish their focus and declare on the Netherlands and Luxembourg, but hesitate on me. Clearly because I'm so powerful. Hitler has to think twice about taking me on. I get everyone I can on the field, and Germany finally declares war on me. But this King Leopold III guy, already not feeling the war and looking for a way out. Bro saw his dad hold strong against the Germans throughout World War I despite the odds and come out victorious and said,
"What did we learn, Palmer?"
I don't know, sir.
I don't fucking know either. I guess we learned not to do it again.
Belgium is already hard to hold with the geography of the country, and it's made harder with the fact that the king wants to surrender as soon as we lose control of any state. My confidence spikes when we start fighting the Germans, actually, because my infantry are sitting with some really pretty stats. Things are going great. My investment into AA is paying off, and the Luftwaffe can barely scratch my positions. Also, I'm so glad I invested into maintenance companies so I can offset my equipment losses by stealing from the Germans. Although it says I'm not capturing anything, it's definitely lying because soldiers are already equipping themselves with German guns and whatever else is lying around. Less than a month after the German invasion, we suffered a measly 2,000 casualties while inflicting 64,000 to the Germans. This is why the Germans hesitated on declaring on me. In April, the Germans try another massive offensive trying to find any weak point they could in my lines, but after 2 weeks, it went nowhere. My casualties had gone up to 6,000 while theirs have doubled to 137,000. I've now killed more Germans than France. I'm not defending by myself either. I have French divisions in my country helping out in my defense, but sometimes they do more harm than good. I think the battles are going fine with my divisions in them, but Liège starts looking iffy and I check to see none of my guys, the ones who can actually fight, are in the battle. So due to some horrible RNG, I lose Liège. Now King Defeatus III, who's been waiting for his moment, says it's time to call it quits and that we surrender. Fortunately, I can just reply,
We? Who's we? There is no we.
I take a massive penalty for this, but at least I can keep the fight going. However, this fight does get a lot harder for me because I basically got Thanos snapped. Liège was making most of my steel. They also made up half my manpower reserves, and of course, half my industry. Now more than ever, I'm reliant on captured equipment, but as I check out my military stockpiles, I'm noticing a lot of other stuff I've been picking off the ground. Not only have I been salvaging German tanks, but I've also been getting planes. And the funny part about that is that they aren't even German planes, they're British. Since I have no use for this equipment, I just put all that stuff on the market and the buyers come flooding in pretty fast. But then comes the best buyer of them all. I don't know why the US wants old German light tanks, but sure, take them. I really don't know why British planes keep piling up in my stockpiles but not German ones, because imagine if I could salvage the German ones too. I'd double my inventory. America is definitely my favorite customer because they scoop up my supply so fast, and I need all the IC I can get to offset the loss of Liège. 8 months since Germany invaded Belgium, and we've killed 1 million Germans while losing 41,000 Belgians. Remember, our king thought it was over after losing Liège. How do you think he's feeling right now? The southern France front doesn't look great right now, but the Allies have made up for it in Africa because they've cleaned up the Italian army. I catch the AI reshuffling its units on the front line and try to retake Liège, but while the Germans get super lucky with their reinforced chances taking this city, I can't catch a break liberating it. The numbers are just not liking me today, so Liège is just gonna sit in German hands. Then I noticed something pretty incredible happening in southern France. The Germans and Italians start breaking through to Dijon, and from Metz, another German army starts pushing out. As they start taking Dijon, I could see the vision, and while I know them succeeding is gonna screw me over, I was pretty surprised the AI could plan an encirclement like this. But with France's future in jeopardy, I started preparing for the worst. Soon the pincers met up and trapped nearly 2 French armies around the Maginot Line. By the way, this whole time I've been trying to research stronghold networks, and I got an event that would give me enough research progress to finish it, but something went wrong because the game didn't actually recognize it as finished. The progress bar just sat there full, and it's not in my construction menu, so my scientist has been gaslighting me this whole time about the project.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
With half their army stuck in Alsace, France starts collapsing really fast, and I get my men in position to hold off the Germans that will be coming for me soon from the west. It only took a year and 1.9 million casualties, but Germany finally killed France. It may look bleak for me, but I'm not leaving this country until I'm forced out. Months later, Belgium is becoming a popular tourist spot for Allied soldiers. Everybody loves the experience of just sitting in bunkers. Also, considering the amount of men the Germans have concentrated around me, it's a safe guess that I've delayed Operation Barbarossa. Losing 2 million men isn't exactly something Germany can walk off. The Italians airstrike my research facility, but it doesn't even matter. Oh no, I lost 72 days off my research project. This project isn't even real. But soon, I get a real crisis. Not from my enemies, but from someone I thought was my friend.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
So I have to start pushing through as many focuses as I can that will lower their autonomy because I need that manpower back. The focus tree is the only way I can do it too because I have too few factories to build on them, and if I give them equipment, only equipment that I produced reduces their autonomy, so I can't just dump a bunch of guns I found on the floor on them. Maybe 1942, but we're still fighting like it's 1917, both sides wailing on each other in fortified positions to get little progress. I've tried a few times to retake land, but with all the German troops against me, it goes exactly how you'd expect. I had to attack from 3 directions against German troops who had just failed an attack to just be able to reinforce me and the Germans on a plains tile. I can't even straight up win. That's the only way to push here. Also, this was for a VP that doesn't even matter that much. There's gotta be some kind of karma mechanic in this game because as I'm desperately trying to hold against the counterattack, I get reinforced memed out of Namur, and there's no shot of me retaking that with all the forts I built there being used against me. It is the summer of 1942, and Germany still hasn't declared war on the Soviets, so not only do I have to fight off most of the Wehrmacht, I gotta deal with most of the Luftwaffe constantly bombing me. The AA I got only goes so far, but looking through the German air losses, it's definitely taken a toll on their air force. It's a tough choice for Hitler. He has to invest a lot to contain me, but because he invests so much, he can't do anything else. I'm also being limited by the fact that I have to share my supply with so many people. Belgium is overflowing with allied troops that, while occasionally try to do something, are functionally useless. So you may think, then why don't you turn off allied supply so they leave and do something else? Well, when I do that, only most of them leave. For some reason, the AI is content to leave starving stragglers behind, and that becomes a major security risk for me because those out of supply units can clog up combat with and cost me battles. So why not make only some of your supply available? Well, when I did that and left only 15 supply available, the AI just saw supply available, and an armada of troop convoys started coming my way. At least the AI is smart enough to do more than just go all in on defending Belgium, and they're trying to take off pressure by fighting in the Mediterranean. The Germans are really putting the heat on me in 1943. That leaves a decent chance for me to retake Namur since those divisions were left half exhausted. It wasn't gonna be an easy fight with the German planes flying overhead, plus the fact that I have to overcome my own forts. I got lucky though, a reinforced meme works in my favor and I'm able to lock down Namur again. I try to keep the initiative going by attacking Leuven. The battle is tough, but if I can keep up the pressure on the Germans, I'll definitely win. As the battle inches closer to victory, Congo goes ahead and pulls the rug out from under me by increasing their autonomy again. Kinda hard to keep an offensive going when I lose all my manpower, but Congo is just treating me like...
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
Please, this is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
I can do a few more autonomy reduction focuses, but it's a losing battle for me. All this attacking is taking a toll on the Belgian population, but compared to what the Germans are going through, maybe I don't have much room to complain. The Allies are still trying to make some moves in the Mediterranean, but they're not doing a good job at it. Sicily is looking like a loss, but in North Africa, I can do a bit to help out with my 6 civs and get them some supply by connecting supply hubs with railways. How does the Allied AI take advantage of this? Well, they get completely rolled, and looks like they're about ready to give up on North Africa entirely. As for Malta, well, I don't even know what to say. Even though I'm on the brink of dying, I'm gonna send some divisions over there because I feel like I could start turning things around. When my divisions arrive, I split them into two groups. One will help the British in Sicily, while the others will help push into Tunisia. The Brits and I would have locked down Sicily if the Italians didn't flood Messina with troops, but we did clear up the western part of the island, at the cost of losing Ghent. I guess seeing me participating in the Sicily invasion triggered Mussolini to helping the Germans kill me, but there's really nothing I can do over here. End in 1943 and still no Barbarossa. All I can do is help the Allies and hopefully they start another front somewhere, cause that second front definitely ain't gonna be in Italy with all they got flooding here. But while I'm in Sicily, I might as well squeeze out as much IC as I can from that island. Looks like I gotta spearhead the push to Tunis. Since everyone is starving out here, it ain't even hard to get a breakthrough. That initial push was all it took to get the AI going again and push into Tunisia. If I can connect to the Tunisian supply hubs, North Africa will be wrapped up really fast because I'm gonna fully focus on that with my divisions in the area. Since I gotta leave Sicily really soon with the Italians launching this massive counterattack. I'm trying to be careful as I pull back, but then the inevitable happens. It's bad enough that I died, but it looks like I'm pulling a lot of people down with me. But actually, this ain't my fault. They didn't have to come to Belgium. I'm really thankful I pulled the mountaineers to the Mediterranean, so at least I have a bit of an army to play with. Alright guys, guess I get to show off the capitulated Belgium tree. We got to let everyone know that the king didn't speak for us. I mean, it should be obvious after fighting for 3 years after he said we surrendered, but now it's official that we don't mess with King Leopold III anymore. The push for Tunis is going great with my mountaineers splitting off the city from the rest of the Axis lines. But then I remembered, since I capitulated, I get random exiled generals, and they are still so overpowered. I mean, look at these level 1 generals. I'd be stupid to not start using one, because imagine how broken I can make him once he starts leveling up. Tunis is soon secured, and I can begin moving to Algeria. But then the British give me some exiled units, and I see that the Allies are already doing a D-Day to bust their guys out of Belgium. I mean, I'm honestly impressed they even lasted this long in here. I guess my capital supply hub in Brussels is doing a lot of heavy lifting. I guess this D-Day was really something because I was surprised to see Turkey join the Allies a year early. But it looks like the army was just a surprise because they didn't look ready to fight on this front. The Allies didn't do just one landing in Calais, they did a second one around Bordeaux, and that one was looking a lot stronger. Most of my troops are still committed to cleaning up Algeria, but my few exiled troops could support the invasion in Calais. The Axis aren't really struggling to contain us in France with these 2 landings, so obviously the next move from the Germans is to start Operation Barbarossa.
Patrick!
Yes, SpongeBob?
I don't think this bubble can get much bigger.
Nonsense!
The front lines soon connect by Lille, and I begin the final offensive to finish off the Axis in North Africa. With the Allied troops broken out of Belgium, the floodgates were opening up and they swarmed northern France. They also liberated Liège, so my industry was back, and I figured I might as well train new units. But I still couldn't trade with anyone because the Germans held both of my ports. My mountaineers would return to Europe soon, they just needed to finish off the last Axis foothold in North Africa. And despite their numbers, these divisions weren't going to be lasting long. When my exiles finally returned to Europe, I have them finish the liberation of Belgium by pushing the Germans out of Antwerp. This brings my industry to 100%, and now I can trade with the rest of the world. The German lines are really thin in the Benelux area because they've concentrated most of their army in France. This gives me the idea to rush from Paris through Orléans and Tours to link up with the Bordeaux beachhead and hopefully destroy a bunch of Axis divisions. Their lines are thin around Orléans, so it's easy to get the offensive started. The news of the Soviets liberating Warsaw gives me a big incentive to hurry up because I want to get to Berlin before them. A bit unfortunate that I didn't get much time to use the capitulated branch of the Belgium tree. The country was liberated so fast I've barely had enough time to just do the focuses to reinstate the government. Once I take tours, I think some of the AI divisions figure out what's going on and try to leave, but not everyone, so I'm close to capturing many divisions. The extra supplies command ability really came in clutch here, because it gave me just the boost I needed to win the final battle and close the pocket. Although we're pretty far from where the battle actually took place, I'm going to call this my version of the fillet pocket. Since they were completely out of supply, liquidating the pocket wasn't hard. I couldn't wait to see how many men were cut off in this encirclement. I quickly isolated a smaller army, and once we were done with them, I saw that there was 130,000 in this one. As for part 2 of the encirclement, this one was looking really juicy, and the Brits were so kind to let me take charge of finishing the Axis army off. They don't last very long, and once they're all gone, I noticed my general got so much XP from these pockets he leveled up 2 times. Makes sense, there was 457,000 men in the second pocket. So in a month and a half, I've eliminated around 600,000 men from the Axis armies. You can definitely say that I've been punching above my weight here. But this war hasn't come without a cost. Congo has fully left me now. I guess despite everything I've done, I wasn't cool enough to convince them to stick around. It's time to battle plan into Germany. Their army is so weak, now even the Danes are rising up against them. They are completely tapped out on manpower because of all the casualties I've inflicted upon them, so pushing across the Rhine into the German heartland is easy. The German army just completely disintegrated before me. The only objective I have is to get to Berlin before the Soviets do. I take the city, but the state is under British occupation, and I can't let them get the event pop up. So I take control of all the British occupied states in Germany. However, it looks like there is no event for the Belgians taking Berlin. I'm just shaking my head right now. It's like the devs don't even care. The Yalta conference happens, and let's be real here, if anyone deserves a say in the future of Germany, it's me. 17% war participation over here. Only the UK could say they did more because of air and naval combat. I'll wear this second place medal with pride. As Belgium, I did more for the war than the US and the Soviets. The Germans are gonna fight to the death though. I had to go all the way to Vienna before they finally capitulated. I still have to clean up the other Axis nations, but they definitely don't have much time left. I love how Italy is days away from dying, and now the anti-fascists rise up against Mussolini. I just don't know if I could trust this uprising, guys. Fascism is already about to die. Y'all are just saving your asses. Before the peace deal begins, let's take a final look at the casualties. I lost 471,000 men to hard carry this war, and not only just take down 3.8 million Germans, but hundreds of thousands more spread across the European axis. I show up near the top of everyone's casualty counter. It's great. But finally, in February 1945, we have peace. The British and Americans really try to fight me on it, but I want to be the guy that sets up the West Germany puppet state along with Austria. I thought I was going to be able to create some nice borders in Germany, but the Americans wouldn't give up on Bavaria, and the Brits had a death grip on Holstein. I was disappointed, but that went away when I saw Belgium and Italy, because I didn't even ask for them, yet I have them anyways. So I may have lost my African holdings, but who cares? I've made a bigger empire in Europe. So, there you all have it, a successful historical Belgium playthrough. This turned out to be a lot more fun than I initially expected, and I hope y'all enjoyed watching. If you did, remember to like the video so more people will see this too. Also, please subscribe. I think I can hit 100,000 subscribers by Christmas, and if I do, I'll do something special for y'all. I'm still thinking about what that'll be, so you can give suggestions in the comments if you want. Thank you to my alumni supporting me on Patreon. Gonna do another U-boat video next, and then HOI4 again. Not sure if it's gonna be modded or vanilla though. So, more good stuff on the way soon. Hope to see you again for it. Bye bye!